Now that is about PowerShell scripts. Now when it comes to .NET assemblies, I mean .NET is or was cool again in the years 2018 to 2021, which makes it very useful for red teamers. I mean, they included .NET in their tradecraft again. So let's take a look at how we can use some of the .NET tools. So there are three problems, just like PowerShell scripts. When we talk about offensive .NET tradecraft, there are three challenges. One is, of course, detection by countermeasures like AV or EDR, delivery of the payload. For example, PowerShell has sweet download execute cradles. Can we have something in .NET? And then detection by logs like process creation or command line logging. We're going to take a look at the first two, how we can address this. For example, once again, our staple or stock AV that we are going to avoid is going to be Windows Defender. So what we are going to do, we are going to use Defender check to scan .NET binaries, find out the strings that it has a problem with, and then either modify the source code, in some case, try to obfuscate it. In some cases, we'll also try to obfuscate the entire compiled binary. For source code obfuscation, we can use tools like Codeception. For example, we used that for the version of Rubius that we use in the class. So we obfuscate the source code. Yeah, and yes, that then we would be fine. I mean, there is nothing else to tell you here. That is, we would like to. Unfortunately, I believe Codeception is not on the student VMs because it needs to be added to your Visual Studio, and providing Visual Studio on each student VM was sort of a resource hog for us. But you can use the tool on your own machines. So using this command, we obfuscated the source code of Rubius, then we built it, and it was fine. We also tried ConfuserX. I think this is the one that we used with safety cards. So those of you, if you have anyone of have been following our work on this, we used to use ConfuserX even in 2023. Then we moved on to Nimcrypt. Now we are back to ConfuserX. That is, that is the problem with signature-based detections. That's the peak of cat and mouse game. You make changes, someone will start detecting it, then you have to make changes again. So we used ConfuserX to obfuscate safety cards, more of a battering ram approach, and then it was fine. So that was a quick walkthrough of how we have made the tools not detectable with the November version of Windows Defender. I addressed that in the very beginning because that is one of the most frequently asked questions. But I would still like to emphasize, I mean, I always say this. Unfortunately, for people who started working in information security, specifically in pen testing and red teaming in the past few years, in past 4 or 5 years, the entire focus when they hear the word OPSEC, the entire focus is on endpoint OPSEC. That is, okay, what if an EDR detects it? What if an AV detects it? There is a lot more to OPSEC than just the EDR. And that is what I would like you to focus on. And that is why on each of the lab instance, we run MDI sensors on the domain controller of your current domain so that we can take a look at how identity OPSEC works. We'll come to that in a moment. Any question up to now? Is this all making sense? Are we good to proceed? Once again, please ask all the questions on the Discord server. Are we good to go, or do we have any questions here? Okay, a question is, do we have to modify or obfuscate our own scripts during the labs and exams? Not in the labs. All of the tools are present in the CAD tools directory of your student VM. So if you access your student VM in the CAD tools directory, you will find all of the obfuscated tools. All right. For the exams, the tools should work, not necessarily. So for the exam, there are two ways. Either you can hunt for exceptions. There are some directories that are added to exception of Windows Defender on the foothold machine in the exam, or you can obfuscate the tools.